Welcome to the Dougie Wuggy Story Hour. Today is another true story from Dougie Wuggy's childhood. Today's story is called The Witch in the Garage. So when I was about 5...
That's like one down from me. I'm 6.
When I was about 5... I watched a movie called The Wizard of Oz.
I watched the movie, but when I saw the witch, it was so scary.
And I was very freaked out by the witch.
That's when I was freaked out.
Yeah, she scared me to death, and I had nightmares about her every night.
I used to, but now I don't.
For a year, I had nightmares about her.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. I had nightmares about her every night.
Do you still?
No. Now, the nightmare was always the same. You want to hear what the nightmare was?
Yeah.
Okay, I would be in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I would walk into the hall, and in our hallway was something called a laundry chute.
What?
A laundry chute is
a laundry
it's a laundry chute is like a little slide where you put your dirty laundry and it slides down to the basement where the washer and dryer are. But in my dream, instead of the laundry going down the chute, I went down the chute. And I landed in a big pile of stinky laundry and funky underwear and smelly socks. And I looked up, and there was the evil witch from the Wizard of Oz with 3 of her evil sisters. And they were sitting around a card table playing poker. And they looked at me and they said, "There's the little boy. Let's get him!" And they would start chasing me around the laundry room. And I'd start yelling, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, save me from the witch." And I'd wake up in my bed. And I'd like, oh my gosh. And I'd start calling from my parents, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy." And Mom or Dad would come in and they'd be all tired. They'd be like, "Another witch dream?" I'm like, "Yeah, another witch dream. I want to sleep in your bed." And they'd be like, "Okay." So Mom or Dad would take me into their room and I would sleep in the middle because they had 2 beds. They had a soft bed and a hard bed pushed together. And I would sleep in the middle where the crack is. And in the middle of the night, I would push the 2 beds apart and I'd go down into the crack with my pillow and my blanket and my little stuffed doggy named Otis. And I'd sleep down there. And I called that my pirate cave. And and I felt very safe down there because I knew Mom was on my right and Dad was on my left and no one would get me there. I was being protected by Mom and Dad. And in the morning, they would wake up and they go, "Hey, where's Doug?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm down here, guys, in the pirate cave. Good morning. Good morning from the pirate cave." And they'd be like, "Good morning, Doug." And then one day my brother came in, my big brother, his name's Jeff, and he's like, "Oh, did Dougie Wuggy have a nightmare?
Yeah.
Did Dougie Wuggy have another bad dream about the witch?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And he started calling me Scaredy Cat Chicken Boy. He said, "Scaredy Cat Chicken Boy, Chicken Boy, Chicken Boy, Chicken Boy, quack, quack, Chicken Boy, Chicken Boy, Chicken Boy." And I'm like, "Stop it." And he goes, "Stop it." And he just teased me. And my parents like, "Stop teasing your brother." He said, "Oh, come on. I'm just playing around." I said, "I don't like it. Stop teasing me." Did he stop?
No.
No, not really. He just did it when Mom and Dad weren't around. But one day he came to me and he said, "Doug, guess what?" I'm like, "Huh?" He said, "There's a witch in the garage." I'm like, "What? You know the witch from the Wizard of Oz?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's in the garage. She's in the closet where Dad keeps all the tools." I'm like, "No, you're lying." He goes, "No, I'm not lying. I just saw her." I'm like, "No, Mom said witches aren't real. They're just pretend." "Oh, no, Mom's not telling you the truth. She just said that because of your nightmares, because she knows you're a chicken boy." "I'm not a chicken boy." He goes, "Okay, prove it." I'm like, "What?" "Prove it. Prove you're not a chicken boy." I said, "What? How?" He goes, "If you go with me into the garage and open the closet and see the witch, I will never call you a chicken boy again. You have to prove to me that you're brave. And I was like, okay. I mean, really, I shouldn't have done it because I was scared to death. And I did not like my garage. You know why?
What? Spiders?
Spiders, mice, rats, dirty, smelly, funky, freaky. I did not like that garage whatsoever. I never went in there. The only time I went in there was to get my bike, and I would just walk in, grab my bike, and go, boom, out of there, like, phew. I never really went in because the bike was like right by the door. And he said, don't worry, I'll be right behind you. I'll protect you.
Who?
My big brother, Jeff. And I'm like, okay.
I don't really think that.
And we have this long driveway. I'd say about as far as from here to the street. That's how long the driveway is. And at the end of the driveway was the garage. I'm like, oh, God, I should just get Mom or Dad. But no, I had to prove to Jeff I was not a chicken boy, that I was a real boy, not a chicken boy. And I was like, oh, God. And I'm walking down the driveway, and he said, I'm right behind you. Don't worry, I'll protect you. I'm like, oh, God. We open the garage door. Oh, squeaky and creaky. And this, like, oh, God, not the funky garage. Oh, my God. He's like, she's in the closet over there. Don't worry, I protect you. And he gives me a flashlight, and I start walking towards the closet door. I open the closet door. And this witch jumps out at me. I swear to God. She looked just like the witch from the Wizard of Oz. She said, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, little boy. I'm going to get you. And each of them, the witch, the witch, the witch, the witch. And she starts chasing me around the garage. I'm like, And then I bolt out of the door, down the driveway. And the witch is right behind me saying, I'm going to get you, little boy. I'm going to get you. And I'm like, this is a dream. I want to wake up. Mommy, Daddy, I want to wake up. And the witch is like, this is not a dream. This is real. I'm going to get you. And I run into the house in the back door. And there's Mom in the kitchen cooking dinner. I'm like, Mom, the witch. And I hide under her skirt. I'm like, Mommy. And she turns around. And there's the witch standing in the doorway. And my mom says, who are you? Show your face. And this little voice says, it's me, Mrs. Cole, Mark, from next door. She goes, Mark, take off that mask. It was the neighbor with a witch mask on. The whole thing was just a trick to freak me out. To freak out poor little Dougie Wuggy. And it was just a, what do you call that? A punk, a trick, a prank. Because they knew I was scared of witches. And my brother's friend from next door, Mark, his sister had a witch mask. And they just decided to scare me, just to be mean. They thought it would be funny.
The ball, so you get stuck on the ball.
And I was like, and I got so mad at my brother. And he said, oh, we got you. And I got super mad at him, and I kicked him in the leg. He's like, that didn't hurt. I'm like, oh, yeah, boom! He said, okay, that one hurt. I mean, I didn't really hurt him, but, and then my mom got really mad at my brother and the neighbor. She said, go to your room. And then she told Mark, the next door neighbor, I'm talking to your mother. He said, sorry, Mrs. Cole, Jeff made me do it. It was just supposed to be a prank. Sorry. She said, well, it wasn't funny. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't funny. He's like, sorry, Doug. Yeah, so that really freaked me out. That is part 1 of The Witch in the Garage.
What is part 2?
Now, do you want to hear part 2?
Yeah!
The Revenge of the Little Brother. Also known as The Revenge of Chicken Boy. Da, 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 da. Chicken Boy gets revenge on Big Brother. Do you want to hear that? You see, my brother thought it was all very funny, but I decided to get revenge on him.
What is revenge?
To get him back, to scare him. It's like if he can scare me, I can
scare him.
then I can scare him. I get him back. So I knew that he was scared of monsters because we had watched a monster movie and it had freaked him out. And I said, oh, he's scared of monsters. Okay, I can work with that. Because my best friend Brad had a very freaky monster mask from Halloween. And I went to his house and said, hey, Brad, can I borrow your monster mask? He's like, sure. Why? I said, I'm going to scare my brother. He says, oh, yeah, sure. I don't like your brother. I said, yeah, neither do I. I'm going to get revenge on him. He said, yeah, revenge. So that night, when my brother was sleeping, not sleeping, he was in his bathroom brushing his teeth, about to go to sleep. And I had my little jammies on, my little red fire truck jammies that Dad and Mama just bought me. And I put on the monster mask. I run into his room. I hide in his closet. And I'm like, okay. And he comes in his room, turns off the light, and I start going, making all these monster noises, scratching on the door. And he's like, what the heck? And he gets his little Boy Scout flashlight, and he comes walking towards the closet, and I'm looking through the little keyhole. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. I'm going to get him. And he opens the closet door, and I jump out. I'm like, ah! And I grab him, and I tackle him, and I start chewing on his leg like a crazy monster dog. I'm like, rah, 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 rah. And he's like, a monster, a monster, a monster. And he runs into Mom and Dad's room, and he jumps in the pirate cave. And he's like, a monster, a monster. And I jump on the bed. I said, who's the chicken? Nah, chicken boy, chicken boy, chicken boy. And he goes, oh, it's you. And he pulls me down into the pirate cave, and he starts beating me up with a pillow. We start having a giant pillow fight. And then my dad comes up the stairs and goes, what the heck is going on up here? And he pulls me up by my new red fire truck jammies. He's like, pulls me up. And I'm like, hey, Dad, you're stretching the jammies, mister. And you're giving me a wedgie, too.
Where's the wedgie?
That's when the jammies go like, whoa.
And then it's kind of
yeah. And he said, okay, Jeff, you got Doug. Doug got you back. Now stop it. No more scaring. We're like, okay, Dad. But did we stop? No, we didn't. You want to hear chapter 3?
Yes.
It's called The Scare Wars. I would scare him. He would scare me. I would scare him. He would scare me, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Wizard of Oz!
And then one day, I came up with the perfect scare.
Wizard of Oz!
I thought, because we had a toy chest with a bunch of blocks.
Oh, I love this one.
And I got my little brother and I said, hey, Peter, you want to help me scare Jeff? He's like, sure. Okay. He was like 3. He's like my little servant. He would do whatever I told him to do. I said, okay, I'm going to hide in the toy chest. And then you go get Jeff and bring him up. And I'm going to pop out of the toy chest and scare him like a crazy clown. You know, like those Jack in the Boxes? You go, da 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 da. And this crazy thing comes popping out at you and you have a heart attack. And yeah.
And then it like attacks.
I said, so I took all the blocks out. I hide in the toy chest. I say, go get Jeff. He's like, okay. And he runs downstairs. Hey, Jeff, you want to play with me upstairs? And Jeff's like, okay. And he comes upstairs and he opens the toy chest and I jump out. I'm like, wah! And he's like, really? Really? Didn't scare me at all. He pushes me back in the toy chest, puts the top on and sits on it. And I'm trapped in there. And I'm like, okay, dude, let me out. He's like, no. You got to stay in there and suffer. I'm like, Jeff, let me out. He's like, no. I said, I can't breathe. He said, yeah, you can breathe. I mean, I could breathe because there was holes in it. But it was very crowded in there and stuffy. And I told my little brother, I said, go get help. Go get Mom. He's like, okay. And he runs down and says, Mom, Doug is caught in the toy chest and Jeff's sitting on it, and I don't think Doug can breathe. And she comes running up the stairs. She said, get off that toy chest. And I'm like, pushing it up with my feet. I'm like trying. He's like, nope, no, no, no. And then finally she says, get off the toy chest, Jeff. And he gets off and I kick off the top like whammo. And the top goes flying, almost hits Jeff in the head. He's like, dude, you almost hit me in the head. I'm like, I was trying to. That's what you get. And then my mom said, no more scaring each other. Got it? And she had a very serious look on her face. And when Mom got serious, yeah. We're like, okay, Mom. And we never scared each other again. And that's the true story of The Witch in the Garage, The Scare Wars, and The Revenge of Dougie Wuggy. Give me a cheer for that.
Yeah!
Thanks for listening to today's episode
We do 4.
of the Dougie Wuggy Story Hour. Till next time, give me a cheer.